These are your evening headlines for September 3rd, 2025, right here on BYU-Idaho Radio. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Austin Pace. The Idaho Attorney General's office says it will not file criminal charges against the 4 Pocatello Police Department officers who shot and killed an autistic teen in April when he had a knife and was trying to attack his family. The AG's office says it reviewed the investigation by the Eastern Idaho Critical Incident Task Force, which the Bannock County Sheriff's Office led, and found the officers were justified in their use of deadly force. You'll remember it was April 5th when a witness called 911 when he saw what he thought was a drunk man attacking a man and a woman with a knife.
There's a man and a woman and then another guy in the street who seems like he's antagonizing him. One guy's got a knife. It looks like he's under the influence, and they're out in their backyard chasing each other around.
Okay.
Soon before the officers arrived, 17-year-old Victor Perez was knocked to the ground but held onto the knife. In a letter explaining why the AG's office won't file charges, it says the officers did not know the person with the knife was an autistic teen. They repeatedly commanded him to drop his knife, and when he lunged at them, 3 of them shot him with their handguns, and the 4th officer shot with a beanbag gun. While the officers will not face criminal charges, there is a civil lawsuit filed by Victor's family. The Attorney General's office says the shooting was tragic. They hired a use of force expert to review the case, who said any reasonable officer in these officers' position, and with only the limited information these officers possessed, would have viewed the unknown male as an immediate threat of death or serious bodily injury at the time the officer started shooting. The autopsy shows Victor was shot 12 times. The officers fired all their 14 shots within 2 seconds. They then performed life-saving measures, but Victor died 6 days later at the hospital. The city of Pocatello released a statement from Mayor Brian Blatt this afternoon. He said, "My heart goes out to the Perez family over the loss of Victor. This incident has been difficult for our entire community. In Pocatello, we stand together in challenging times. I'm confident we will continue to support one another as we move forward." You can read the full letter from the AG's office at ag.idaho.gov. After 4 years on the Idaho Falls City Council, Lisa Burtenshaw is campaigning to succeed Mayor Rebecca Casper, who will not seek a 4th term. Burtenshaw credits Casper for her service and says her own candidacy centers on managing growth. According to eastidahonews.com, she helped shape the city's 2021 growth plan and supported impact fees to fund new parks, roads, fire stations, and police. As mayor, she says she'll ensure those plans are carried out while keeping residents informed and involved. She said her number 1 goal is to make sure people know the mayor doesn't work for the city. The mayor works for the people. Burtenshaw, a lifelong Idaho Falls resident with a mechanical engineering degree, previously served a decade on the District 91 school board and worked on the Frontier Field Sports Complex before joining the council in 2021. She considers improving budget transparency her biggest accomplishment on the council. She lives in Idaho Falls with her husband Bryce, a local dentist, and their family. A man died in a single-vehicle crash yesterday afternoon south of Wendell. eastidahonews.com reports a man in his early 20s was driving a 2000 Honda Accord North when he lost control. His vehicle left the road and hit a power pole. ISP troopers who responded to the scene say the driver wasn't wearing a seatbelt and died at the scene. The crash caused significant damage to the utility pole and caused traffic to be blocked for 8 hours as crews worked on repairs. Idaho State Police are still investigating the crash. These have been your BYU-Idaho Radio evening headlines for September 3rd, 2025. Thanks for tuning in. More news, interviews, and great content are available on our podcast feed. Search for BYU-Idaho Radio on your favorite podcast apps. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and more. For BYU-Idaho Radio, I'm Austin Pace.